D'Angelo Pons, cornerback, played mostly outside in college at Indiana. 5'9", 182 pounds at the combine. Didn't do much testing, but he did jump, and he jumped 43 and a half on the vert. 3 years as a starter, 169 tackles, 10 and a half tackles for loss, 7 interceptions, 33 passes defended, 2 pick-sixes, 2 fumble recoveries, and a forced fumble. In 2025, and overall at Indiana, very zone-heavy scheme that plays into his strengths. It allows him to read the quarterback and instinctively react. He does that very, very well. He's explosive on tape, and that lines up with how he jumped at the combine. It'll be interesting to see how he performs at his pro day, if he runs and does some other drills, how he tests there. Despite his size, he plays well against big wide receivers on tape, and we'll see quite a few clips in this video against Denzel Boston. Pretty much NFL caliber receivers exclusively in this film breakdown for Pons. And he does a good job against all of them. 0 touchdowns allowed in 2025, 0 penalties allowed in 2025. So clean in those regards. Pretty good tackler. I think he might be a little bit overrated by some other evaluators in that regard. But some of the weaknesses in his game are his frame, obviously. Small. 5'9" for a corner isn't ideal. Doesn't mean it can't work, especially on the outside. There are guys that have made it work on the outside. And his tackling technique isn't great, which is why I kind of have a gripe with some people saying, oh, well, he projects mostly on the inside. I sort of agree, but I also don't. I think he plays best outside. He played almost exclusively outside in college. And he's a solid tackler, but, your size and not your size, excuse me, your tackling ability in the slot is going to be, tested. And I don't. We'll see, some of his tackles here. I don't think he's a great tackler. I think his form and technique. He's kind of an ankle tackler, and that could come up, as an issue on some run plays. So overall, I think I still have some more work to do on some other guys. Chris Johnson, some of the guys from Tennessee, but he might be the best corner in the class, in my opinion. Not the best prospect due to his size. Like I like Delane quite a bit, but in the NFL, he'll excel in his own heavy defense. And yeah, let's get right into this. Fix the cursor, by the way, so big ups to me. Go through some of his tape here. First play, top of the screen, we're working against Denzel Boston here. This is 2024 Washington. Good coverage all over him. Kind of tip it to ourselves there and intercept it. So really sticky against a first round wide receiver. And we win that. Next play here, we are actually lined up in the slot. We're going to show blitz. We are blitzing. The throw is a little bit compromised, right? It looks like one of our defensive linemen gets a hand on, I believe that's what Will Rogers gets a hand on Rogers throwing. So the ball comes out awry. It's a compromised throw, but we do a good job pretty much instantly reacting. You almost have no time to react to the trajectory of the ball from that distance. And he still picks it off, and see ya. Pick six was never in doubt. Once he had that ball in his hands, he's gone. All right, bottom of the screen here on this next one, we have a shell look. He likely has a quarters assignment here. He's going to work out of his zone. He sees the quarterback, right? Eyes on the quarterback. He comes out of his zone covering 7 here to pick up this throw to the tight end and just does an outstanding job laying a big hit on him, drawing it out. I mean, I don't know how big that tight end is, but probably over 6'3", probably over 240. Boom, big hit, knocked that ball out. Really good play, really instinctive by Pons. All right, next we're at the top of the screen, working against a hitch with kind of a press look. We do a good job not falling for any of that. I like his energy too. He likes to celebrate. We like that from DBs. Nice, good D. Top of the screen here, we're working against Denzel Boston. I have a video on him. Go watch it if you haven't already, by the way. He is an absolute demon in this goal to go scenario with these jump balls. And he's going to get a look here versus Boston, or excuse me, against Pons. Advantage Pons, man. He does a good job. It's not PI. They're both kind of fighting. He's in good position. So despite the size, despite the matchup, right? That one probably favors Boston there. At least on paper, Pons does a good job, and he wins there. Bottom of the screen here against Boston yet again. This time we're in man. We're pressed. We're on his hip. He's never separated that entire route. We are all over him. He does a really good job. No one never had a chance. So he won against Boston pretty decisively in that game there. All right, bottom of the screen here. Right, we're kind of in a curl to flat here. And now at this point, the play is going to go off script. Nobody's open, right? You could argue this, but we're kind of there. So now the routes are going to, go off script here and go in other directions, right? So our guy here, we do a good job picking it up and covering. Kind of runs like almost a corner, right? To try to help out the quarterback who's got nothing available. We're here. And he just does a good job identifying, okay, quarterback's looking this way. That guy's going to move out of his route, try to make a play. He does a good job covering it up. All right, top of the screen here, working against Jeremiah Smith. Right, probably a blue chip prospect in next year's class. Better than Carnell Tate, who might be the best receiver in this class, right? Another goal line situation here. Kind of runs in stem in. He's going to run out kind of into like a flat on the goal line here. And Pons just does a good job covering it up. He's not falling for anything. Staying with him, all over him. Doesn't give him any chance at all. Going to go over a few plays of his tackling. Does flash a lot of good stuff here. Top of the screen. He's going to run up, fit the run here on the outside. Does a good job bringing 4 down by the ankle, but bringing him down nonetheless. Top of the screen, diagnosing the run. Again, bringing him down low. It's a good play. He closes very quickly and makes the play. Very instinctive. He does a good job diagnosing both run and pass, and very reactive. Top of the screen here, we're going to get off a block attempt, right? And help our team out, bring the guy down here. I believe his name is Jonah Coleman, one of the better backs in this class. He's a big player. I'll have a video on him coming out here, and well, I'm not going to give you a timeline, but at some point here. Similar deal here, top of the screen, he's going to evade a block, make a good tackle on the quarterback for a slight loss there. Had a little bit of assistance, but doing his job nonetheless. Good stuff. So, as you can see there, it's not fantastic. I think he might struggle with tackling in the slot, but it's good enough for the outside, no question. Couple bad reps here, and it's worth noting this is probably like his worst tape over the last 2 years, and it's against Jeremiah Smith both times, and again, didn't allow a touchdown. This is a disaster play here, bottom of the screen. Kind of questioning what he's doing. He has flat-footed technique here at the top, and he's just blown by Smith. Does a good job closing, speed-wise, misses the tackle. Doesn't allow a touchdown, I guess, but that's probably his single worst play that I watched at the very least. But we're working against a future top 5 pick. And nobody's perfect, right? There's not a perfect prospect, so there's going to be some bad plays sprinkled in there. And this last one, we're going to end on bottom of the screen, working against Jeremiah Smith yet again. And this time it's going to be good coverage. but it's going to be a back shoulder throw. He does an outstanding job, working through the contact, uh, making the catch in bounds. It's a tough assignment. So, yeah, that's D'Angelo Pons. Like, comment, subscribe. I have plenty more videos coming by. See ya.